Have you ever wondered how a country known for its deserts is turning them into oases? In this video, we'll take a closer look at the reforestation initiatives in Australia, including one massive project that has revitalized over 10,000 hectares of once barren land. We'll also explore the positive effects of reforestation on the environment, the economy, and the local communities. Stay tuned to find out how Australia is re-greening its deserts and securing a sustainable future for generations to come. Australia is the driest inhabited continent on Earth, and it has the Great Australian Desert, which is the world's fourth biggest desert after the Antarctic, Arctic, and Sahara Desert. Australia is about the same size as the United States, but it has a lot less people. As a whole, Australia has about as many people as the state of Texas, despite its small population. Australia is one of the world's worst developed countries for large-scale deforestation, wiping off vulnerable forests and woodlands. In fact, they have cleared nearly half of all forest cover in the last 200 years. It began around the early 1800s, when the British colonized Australia in search of land and fortunes. At that time, Britain had already been completely stripped of trees for centuries by intensive agriculture and war. Even today, the United Kingdom has one of the lowest percentages of forest cover in Europe. British timber companies were granted free access to vast areas of virgin forest in Australia, and trees were felled for agriculture and railway tracks, which were constructed alongside their transit infrastructure such as roads, bridges, and jetties. By the 1880s, concerns about stripping the forests were being raised, but no steps toward conservation were taken. And now, Australia has become the worst offending country in the world for mammal extinctions. 55 wildlife species, plus 37 plant species, have gone extinct. The widespread deforestation has resulted in 55% of all Australian land area being used for agricultural purposes, and around 72% of all agricultural output is exported. Meat and animals have been the fastest growing export segment, growing 33% in value. However, agriculture only accounts for 1.9% of the value-added GDP and 2.5% of all employment in 2020 and 2021. After centuries of tilling the ground, significant land degradation has resulted in man-made desertification. The landscape has also been hurt by the arrival of grasses that are not native to the area. In some parts of Australia, however, people are working to stop this trend. Millions of new trees are being planted on the large areas of damaged land to turn them into ecosystems with lots of different kinds of life. Because of this, the quality of life in rural farming communities is getting better, and over 1 million tons of carbon dioxide are being taken out of the air, which is good for the whole world. This might be regarded as a significant achievement for any nation, but it is especially impressive for a nation like this one that only receives an annual average rainfall of 16 inches. An extensive program of reforestation has recently begun in a sensitive region of Australia. Nearly 20 million trees have been planted, which has resulted in the revitalization of over 10,000 hectares of land that was previously unproductive and arid. This has led to the formation of forests that are rich in biodiversity and thriving and flourishing as a result. Carbon Neutral is an organization that specializes in developing carbon sinks, which are the areas that absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. They are currently working on several large-scale reforestation projects in Australia. One of these projects is located in the Yarra Yarra Biodiversity Corridor, which is situated in the Midwest region of Western Australia. The goal of this corridor is to link important areas of land in the region, providing a path for animals to travel from one patch of native forest to another. These biodiversity corridors serve as crucial areas of vegetation that offer shelter, food, and protection from various predators. To ensure that the forests contain a diverse range of native species, Carbon Neutral strives to imitate the structure and composition of native vegetation. In fact, each forest contains between 30 and 50 different species of native plants. Moreover, all the seeds used for the project are collected from within a 20-kilometer radius of the project site, ensuring that they are well suited and adapted to the local environment. Overall, this reforestation project is helping to restore the native biodiversity of the area. The experts have examined the soil characteristics in the different locations of the project. they have carefully chosen the appropriate plant species that can thrive in the area. This initiative aims to reclaim a vast area of land that is saline and unusable. Additionally, it helps to control the problem of wind and water erosion, which is beneficial to the environment. Furthermore, the project provides an excellent habitat for various plants and animals, including some of Australia's rare and endangered species, such as the gnarly fowl and the Carnaby black cockatoo. One of the primary goals of the project is to increase the number of employment opportunities available to the indigenous people in the area. As of right now, the undertaking has effectively resulted in the employment of 10 different people. They have been tasked with a variety of activities, including assisting with seed gathering, managing property, erecting fences, and working together with traditional landowners in the area. The project has been successful in the recruiting of a total of 80 local companies, and the overall cost of the undertaking is currently estimated to be 4 million Australian dollars. Within the wheat belt of Western Australia is where the location of the project will be. The land in this location was once cleared for agricultural reasons. And as a result of the extensive farming techniques that have been carried out here, the soil has been severely eroded and degraded. Because of this, both the natural ecosystem and the habitats that animals call home have been severely disrupted. Over 90% of the land has been plowed under in the last 100 years, which has led to a major reduction in biodiversity. In addition to this, the salinity levels in the valleys have developed into a major problem. Planting more trees has had a huge impact on the environment, mostly through the process of reviving the ecosystem and restoring biodiversity. It has become a stimulant for life and has been beneficial to the region in a variety of different ways. The process of replanting has resulted in the capture of carbon, the creation of oxygen, and the restoration of the ecosystem. This was accomplished by restoring natural species that were originally present in the area. It has been shown that one of the primary contributors to the release of greenhouse gases around the world is the felling of trees. The prevention of drought has been achieved through the planting of native forests, which has resulted in a reduction in temperatures brought about by shadowing and retention of moisture in the water table. It is of the utmost importance to replant our natural forests around the world, because doing so can have a favorable impact on a variety of elements, including the restoration of biodiversity, the reduction of local surface temperatures, and the revival of aquifers. In this second part of our series on re-greening the desert in Australia, we will examine the efforts of community-led programs to support farmers in transforming their farming practices to be more sustainable, robust, and profitable. These projects aim to assist farmers in transforming their farming ways to be more sustainable, resilient, and financially viable. This change, in turn, has a beneficial effect on both the surrounding natural environment and the community as a whole. In addition to having positive effects on the environment, reforestation also has important positive effects on the economy. Restoring land that has deteriorated can open up new doors for opportunities in tourism and recreation, which can in turn lead to the production of new jobs and an expansion of local economies. A new source of income for landowners can be created by reforestation in the form of carbon offset certificates, which has the additional potential to provide cash. The efforts that are being put into reforesting Australia are a step in the right direction toward recovering the degraded land in the country and reviving its ecosystems. These activities are good not only for the environment, but also for the economy and the communities that are located there, because they involve the reintroduction of native species and the restoration of biodiversity. To secure a sustainable future for future generations, it is essential for individuals, organizations, and governments to continue their support of and investment in global reforestation activities.